Third down 10, Jennings a block.
Jalen Polk actually caught a pass? What? Yo, what's up, guys? I'm going on today, man. I'll be talking about my New England Patriots who unfortunately lose 21-41 against the Houston Texans. Now, I'll be honest with you, this is one of the games where I'm not too mad the Patriots lost, especially since we lost by 3 possessions, aka 3 scores, because this was Drake May's first career start. There was some good, there was some bad. There's a lot to dissect, but the fact of the matter, I want to get the stat out. Drake May in today's game, 3 touchdowns in 3 quarters. Jacoby Brissett in 5 games in what? 5, 10, 15, 20, 24 quarters. He didn't play the 4th quarter mostly of the Thursday Night Football game against the Jets. 2 touchdowns. Drake May in 3 quarters had more touchdowns than Jacoby Brissett had in literally 5 games. Now, yeah, you can say a couple of touchdowns were given to Ramondre Stevenson and this, that, and the third. Okay. And the Patriots did not have no Ramondre Stevenson today. You'd be like, okay, but that pass that May had to Kayshon Boutte, that 40-yard touchdown before half, 40-yard TD before half, had me feeling things. I'm gonna get into my notes and then I'll get into the stats. So Patriots lose. We say a lot of good, a lot of bad from Drake May. Early on in the first half, I was firing Gosman tweets. I'm like, Drake May, can we get an accurate pass out of you, my brother in Christ? And an accurate pass, he gave me a slap in the face right before halftime, a 40-yard dot to Kayshon Boutte for a nice 40-yard touchdown. Before I get into that, we have Marte Mapu got a pass interference in the end zone on like a 3rd down or maybe 2nd down. That led to the Texans being down to 1 and Tank Dell getting a receiving touchdown from CJ Stroud. Drake May's first drive as a starter in the NFL. Back-to-back run plays with Antonio Gibson even running on 2nd and like 9. My brother in Christ, what are we doing? And then the 3rd pass in the drive, he threw the ball away on 3rd down. I'm like, that's a stinky first drive. What's it called? Kyle Duggar, first game back after missing last week, Patriots captain. He had a good tackle on Joe Mixon on 2nd and 8. And Marcus Jones ends up getting a pass interference. And that ended up leading to a Joe Mixon walk-in touchdown. He had a couple of plays today where he just was unscathed. Nobody touched him. Like, good throw. And then Drake May, inexcusable interception. When that came out, I did not want to check Twitter. I saw a couple of people like on media defending Drake May, like, man, he's in an awful situation, bad offensive line. I'm like one of Drake May's biggest fans. Like, you should have saw my reaction when we drafted Drake May. I was like, this is the next guy after Brady. We went after Mac Jones, Cam Newton, Bailey Zappi, this, that, and the third. It's May season. I was hoping to get Drake May. I literally lost my voice. That was an awful throw. Like, no excuses. That is a terrible, terrible throw. Looked like he threw like a ball, like he was throwing a jump ball to Mario Douglas, who's like damn near my height. I'm like 5'8.5". Like, my brother in Christ, what are we doing? God awful throw, god awful throw, god awful throw. That didn't lead to anything because Kaimi Fairbanks ended up missing a field goal, which was absolutely massive. Dietrich Wise, we get a 3rd and 10 stop, and he gets an offside and makes that what, 3rd and 5. And then Drake May gets an 11-yard rush. A shout out to Drake May. He was using his arm and his legs today. Demontre Jacobs, aka war criminal, aka terrorist, false star on 2nd and 11. He missed a block, which led to the Will Anderson strip sack fumble. Like, Demontre Jacobs, my brother in Christ, you fucking reek, my nigga. Will Anderson then sacks Drake May, one of his 3 sacks today. Joe Mixon gets a 59-yard run. Then we finally got some positive news because CJ Stroud threw an interception in the end zone instead of for Dalton Schultz. Marte Mapu breaks it up. And Marcus Jones collects it. Just right place, right time. Josh Uche then tackles Tank Dell on a 3rd and 7. And then Marte Mapu once again sacks CJ Stroud on 3rd down. I fired off a tweet earlier. I'm like, Jabril Peppers, you cannot be this much of a moron. I cannot see Marte Mapu get this much play, and because he had that pass interference, and last week he had a big penalty flag as well. Well, last week he dropped the pick. which is kind of a good and bad thing because he didn't at least allow something to happen offensively. He actually did something. And then today he breaks up a pass in the end zone, and Marcus Jones, like I said, right place, right time, and they get the sack today as well. Remember, he had a pick last year on Patrick Mahomes. Shout out to Martin Mapu. He's a hybrid between a safety and a linebacker. He's playing center right now because Jabbo Peppers is there, and then Jalen Hawkins. I'm not sure what happened with him. I don't know if he was on the injury report, but I didn't hear his name called today at all. And Jalen Poe drops a pass on first down. Jalen Polk, all we heard about Jalen Polk was that he had great hands, where he was consistent. Jalen Polk, I know we have him running the X right now, but not even like those. When I think of an X receiver, I think of like the quarterback is like either you're catching this ball or the corner's catching this ball or the safety or whatever, whoever's guarding the X receiver or picking up on the back of him. Let's say like a linebacker on for some odd reason, whatever. It's not how I see Jalen Polk. He's a guy that people have said has surefire hands. I'm not a college football fan. I'm not a college basketball. I don't really watch college sports outside of like March Madness or the college football playoffs or any big time games. Unless as a betting man, if I have money on it, I mean, I'm sure I'll watch. But that's besides the point. Like I know like Michael Penix Jr., Romo Dunze. I've heard the name Jalen Polk. I know he has at least some talent at the collegiate level. But very, very disappointed. I mean, he almost had a game-winning touchdown last game, and then now I'm just coming at him. I mean, it's tough, but it's just the way it is. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Some things will never change. Let me stop. After that, Jalen Polk dropped on first down. Murray ends up getting a pass interference and also illegal hands to the face right after that. Back-to-back plays of bad plays from Murray, but he did end up making up for it later in the game. Drake made 40-yard touchdown to Kayshon Boutte right here.
To the back, second down 2. Drake May, time and distance going, and he's got him! Boutte touchdown! What a throw! A 40-yard strike!
Shout out to our man Drake May. First career touchdown for him, and the first career touchdown for our guy Kayshon Boutte as well. The guy's been coming on as of recently. He's been really good in the blocking game, and recently, especially today, we've seen him in the receiving game as well. We saw him early last season. He dropped or didn't get both feet in like a fourth down, playing the Patriots lose. They ended up losing the game to the Eagles. Remember that game started off awfully. That was when I was Mac Jones MC, threw a big 6 to Darius Slay, and I'm like, oh brother, we had a fake comeback, and then Kayshon Boutte couldn't get both feet in. And I don't think he was in a doghouse. I know he had the off the field, the gambling and things like that this offseason, but I digress. Shout out to Kayshon Boutte. I still don't know who got that ball, whether it was Drake May or Kayshon Boutte. Remember, Caleb Williams threw his first touchdown to Romo Dunze. I believe he gave the ball to Romo Dunze. I wonder what happened with Drake May. I digress. And then this whole sequence just pissed me the fuck off, man. Antonio Gibson. I don't know why that just went off. Antonio Gibson ends up running for like a yard, whatever. They ended up missing the face mask penalty. Will Anderson right after that strip sacks, and Drake May fumbles on an awful block from Demontre Jacobs. And then Stephon Diggs scores a touchdown on Chris Gonzalez, aka Gonzo. So in 2 plays, Drake May, maybe not in 2 plays, but in the like at least a 2-minute stretch, Drake May gets strip sacks and fumbles, and Chris Gonzalez, my number 1 agenda, gives him a touchdown to Stephon Diggs. Like, you know how awful it is? I literally wanted to put up you know what in my you know what. Jacqueline Roy, he's had 2 sacks in the last 2 games. Patriots, I think this is like their one of our 2 sacks. Him and Martin Mapu have, at least that's what I have written down in my notes. Keon White, he hasn't gotten a sack since week 2. Josh Uche hasn't got a sack since I think Thursday Night Football, maybe. Lack of pressure is god awful. No Matthew Judon. Looking for guys that bumped out was Keon White. He's been in a couple of nice plays, just hasn't been able to sack the quarterback in the last 4 weeks since week 2. So that's tough. But Keon White, before I get into that, Jacqueline Roy did end up sacking C.J. Stroud. Austin Hooper fumbles after a 7-yard catch on a pass from Drake May. Just a veteran, but I don't know if that's a rookie mistake. That's just like when it rains it pours type shit. Then Keon White gets a good pressure on CJ Stroud to break up the 37 play. CJ Stroud couldn't even get the throw off. They ended up, I believe, making a field goal with Kyrie Fairbairn. Henry then gets a 30-yard reception. Just nice throw on a run from Drake May. And then Drake May gets called for a full start right after, even though the announcers, my goat Kevin Harlan, I forgot who else was in the booth with him. They were like, maybe that was on somebody else, but if the refs see the quarterback also like flinch or some shit with a hard down or something like that, they'll call him the quarterback, which they ended up doing. So I digress. And then Drake made a Pop Douglas for 17 yards in stride. Then Drake made the second career touchdown on a nice 6-yard touchdown to Hunter Henry right here.
This is the number 32 red zone offense, 1st and goal. Good block, Jacobs. That's a touchdown. Hunter Henry grabs a second touchdown pass thrown by Drake May.
Definitely good to see Hunter Henry. He is a, I don't know why my keys just look like it turned off, but I digress. My monitor, I should say, not my PC. Hunter Henry's a touchdown magnet. Good to see him back. I picked him up a couple times in fantasy when he had Jacoby Brissett. Dude's a war criminal. He threw a touchdown to Austin Hooper when I had Hunter Henry. Dude's a war criminal. I digress. Drake May's second career touchdown. Nice little play action play. And then Drake May gets his second interception. Pass deflected by Will Anderson, who literally annihilated us today, which not surprising at all. Didn't really hear the name Daniel Hunter too much, or I think it's Daniel. It's not Daniel Hunter. It's Daniel Hunter, the former Viking who got a lot of sacks last season. So, dude's a fucking dub. Will Anderson Jr., the defensive rookie of the year last season, after they had offensive rookie of the year last season, and they not have head coach. Did they have D'Amico Ryans been the head coach of the year last season? I want to say they like sweep that, right? D'Amico Ryans, coach of the year. He won that correctly. Yep, coach of the year. D'Amico Ryans, offensive rookie of the year. CJ Stroud, defensive rookie of the year. Will Anderson Jr. Texans are phenomenal hands. So Drake May ends up getting his pass deflected by Will Anderson. Intercepted by Murray, who had the pass interference and illegal hands to the face in that one play. On an intended pass to Antonio Gibson for a screen. That I felt like that pass like deflected off of Anderson instead of for Gibson. Austin Hooper hit him in the back and Murray ends up corralling it. Like such a disgusting play. And then Joe Mixon gets a touchdown basically unscathed for 20 yards. Like right after that, just such a joke. The Texans ended up having 17 points on turnovers in the second half. They just had 21 points overall. 3 touchdowns. I guess I won. Whatever. This Patriots season is about development. It's not really about winning games. We're probably the worst team in the NFL. At least we know that Drake may or may not be the answer. I mean, next week we have a phenomenal matchup against the Jaguars in London. As a betting man, like I was today on Drake May, pass plus rushing yards, I'll be on that once again. Placing one of the worst pass teams in the NFL. Caleb Williams lit them up. They've been getting lit up for all season. Doug Peterson and whoever the Jaguars defensive coordinator are, brother Christ. If you lose to us, which watch as soon as what was I gonna say? Actually, they don't have an injury. Jaguars DC is Ryan Nielsen, a 21-year coaching veteran. This is his first season as DC for the Jaguars. My brother in Christ, yikers. City Stones getting a false start, filling it for Michael Jordan. Drake made to Pop Douglas touchdown for 35 yards right here.
Took away from Tom.
3rd down and 5. May to the air. Got him in stride. Running is Douglas. Touchdown. What a play! 3rd Drake May touchdown pass today.
Pop Douglas, Drake May in stride. What's that SpongeBob meme? Future. Let's go, baby. Damian Pierce ends up getting a 54-yard touchdown right after that. Even though I think, in my humble opinion, I think I'm correct. I don't care. gonzo tackle with Damien Pierce at the 1 yard line. You saw his foot was out of bounds. The refs were like, man, the game is over. Whatever. We're just going to call this instead of doing this, that, and the third. Like, okay, buddy, that should not a touchdown. Don't care. Didn't ask. Anderson then sacks me for the 3rd time on 3rd down. Like, we just got to be so much better. Will Anderson literally had the game of his life. He gets that. He gets the deflection. It was just annihilating us today. And I'm not looking forward to facing other elite pass rushers because, brother. And we got a nice tip pause from Keon White on 3rd and 11. And through 6 weeks, the Patriots have a negative 60-point differential, which has to be one of the worst, if not the worst, in the NFL. Now on to the stats for the Patriots. We have Drake May, 20 of 33, 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Some good, some bad. He had that high pass to Antonio Gibson, the dot to Kayshon Boutte. And at the end, really nice plays overall. The 2 picks, the first pick was inexcusable. The second pick, super unlucky. 3 touchdowns in your first career start, 243 passing yards, which is the most for a Patriots quarterback all season. 3 touchdowns was the most for a Patriots quarterback all season as well. And Drake May has played in, let's say, 5 quarters combined to Jacoby Brissett's 24 quarters. So I digress. Running game, pitiful. Ryan Stevenson, when you do back. GOAT. Drake May today, 5 carries, 38 yards, had an 11-yard run, and also a pretty decently yard run the 4th quarter, I want to say as well. Got the first down on that 4th down, I want to say as well. With the game on the line, though the game was on the line, if the game was over really from the start, for being completely honest. Antonio Gibson, my brother in Christ, you're a receiving back. Why do we keep running the ball with him? 13 carries, 19 yards. Give me some Terrell Jennings. Give me some Kevin Harris. Give me some power back. Even though Terrell Jennings, it was more of like a speed back, not really a elusive back, not a power back. 5 carries, 13 yards. Coming to this game, the Texans were allowing 4.9 YPC. Not that they were one of the worst rush defenses in the NFL, but they were like 15th out of 32 in terms of overall rushing yards to running backs or to players. This is not even just running backs. Yeah. Michael Hasty caught a couple punt returns. Not really a fan of him on the horizon. Obviously, I get why you don't want to throw it at Marvin Douglas. He's our best wide receiver. Punt return, even though he's a speed demon. Marcus Jones is only doing kick returns, apparently not doing punt returns. So we need a punt return guy, because Michael Hasty is, all due respect, just not it. He's not the other Jaguar who's known for a kick returns. Not Devin Duvernay, who's formerly of the Ravens, but I digress. To Michael Hasty, 3 carries, 12 yards. Pop Douglas, one of his best games of his career, 6 catches, 92 yards and a touchdown. Kayshon Boutte, 3 catches, 59 yards and a touchdown. Hunter Henry, 3 catches, 41 yards and a touchdown. Antonio Gibson, 3 for 24. Bourne, 2 for 9. So limited. Still want to see him at his best because he's the Patriots' second best wide receiver after Demario Douglas. Really 1A, 1B in my humble opinion. Michael Hasty, 1 for 9. Hooper, 1 for 5. Polk, 1 for 4. Just an awful game for Polk. He got a catch at the tail end of the game. Really, when I started recording, it's not a really good game for Jalen Polk whatsoever. The leading tackle for the Patriots today was Devon Goddard, defensive lineman, with 4. We got a sack from Jacqueline Roy and a sack from, I guess it was a half sack from Marte Maupin with a half sack for Christian Ellis, who's also on special teams. And the Patriots did not kick a single field goal today for the first time in forever. Shout out there, Frozen. So I remember I was in my school when I was in Providence, and it was his after school basketball program, and where this one kid, I hit a shot and this guy's like, for the first time in forever. That's like middle school. I don't know how I remember that. Really just graduated like not even 6 months ago from college. URI or Rams. Before the college basketball. Thank you. Go Friars, baby. I do have love for my Rams, Lamar Odom, alright legend. Dan Hurley, alright legend. I guess I digress. Let's go on to the Texans now. Actually, I'll go over Bryce Behringer. 6 punts, 301 yards, 50.2 yards per punt, and 2 inside the 20. Just tend to speed past this. Don't want to make this video too long. CJ Stroud didn't really pop off the board in terms of stats, but he made a couple of nice timely throws. He had a couple of short touchdowns. He was given really good field position. He took full advantage of that. He extended a couple plays. He was great on 3rd down, 20 of 31, 192 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick. I didn't even realize that he put Davis Moses in the game. He misses One attempt at a game. Joe Mixon, I mean, he had a couple of nice plays receiving wise and running wise. First game back where he came against us, and looked like prime bank was Joe Mixon. 13 carries, 102 yards and a touchdown. Dameon Pierce came literally back this week as well, along with Joe Mixon. 876 and a touchdown. Dare Ogunbowale, the brother of WNBA legend Arike Ogunbowale of the Dallas Wings, 2 carries, 8 yards. He dished around 3 for 7. Akers 2 for -1. Stephon Diggs, unfortunately, he owned Chris Gonzalez, aka Gonzo. Probably Gonzalez's worst game as an NFL player, even though he's really only played 3.5 last year and now 5 this year. He's played 8.5 games, so I guess Stephon Diggs 6 catches, 77 yards and a touchdown. I just had a moment after Gonzalez could have been called for a PI, and Diggs kind of like picks up Gonzalez. Kind of like good sportsmanship, in my opinion, even though Stroud and him were looking for a flag for EPI, but I digress. Tank Dell 7 for 57 and a touchdown. Big game for Tank Dell. Very, very annoying. In the intermediate, we got the touchdown as well. Bill Mixon 2 for 30 and a touchdown. Dalton Schultz 4 for 27, and Dameon Pierce 1 for 1. Still wish the Texans could utilize John Mechie, Alabama legend, but unfortunately it looks like he is just really out of the rotation. They got 3 sacks today from Will Anderson Jr., a sack today from Daniil Hunter. So they actually did have a sack today. I didn't miss that. And they punted the ball 4 times for 185 yards. 46.3 yards per punt, and 1 inside the 20. And Kyrie Fairbairn made 2 risky field goals, including a 46-yard field goal and 11 points overall. And overall for the team, before I go ahead and end this video, Patriots today 291 yards, Texans 268, 209 passing yards to the Texans 176%. I don't think it's true because of the fact that Stroud threw for like 190. We had 82 rushing yards to the Texans 192, 4.6 yards per play to the Texans 5.9. They had 20 first downs. We had 17. We were 3 for 13 on third down. Brother Eel, they were 5 for 12. On fourth down, we were 2 for 2. They were 0 for 0. We had 63 plays. They had 62. So we had more plays than them. We still lost this game. Just lost the turnover battle. Poorly. We allowed 4 sacks. They allowed 2. We punted the ball 6 times. They punted the ball 4. We had 9 penalties for 50 yards. They had 4 for 38. We fumbled twice. They fumbled no times, and they threw 1 pick. We threw 2. We lost the turnover battle 4-1. They scored 17 points off our turnovers. We had 29 minutes and 5 seconds of time possession. They had 30.55 seconds of time possession. Next week we go up against, not next week, but yeah, actually is next week. I don't know why I thought we had a bye week coming up, but no, we actually do not have a bye week till like later into the season, I guess. I mean, I don't know when the hell our bye week is. We even have it. Yeah, we do a bye week. We have a bye week after the Colts game, so I thought we had a bye week like leading into the Jaguars game at London, but no, we don't. So I will wake up at 9:30 a.m. and usually wake up at like 10 on the weekends overall, like weekdays for the most part, maybe 9, but I digress. Jaguars, Patriots in London. This should be a big time game for Drake May. It's one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL. I'm definitely excited. Like I said, some good, some bad from Drake May. The first quarter was pitiful. 2 for 3 touchdowns, strip sack, fumble, threw 2 picks. But Brett he did throw for 3 touchdowns. He set his blade with his arm, and that out to Kayshon Boutte, touchdown to Hunter Henry, and a touchdown to Hunter Henry as well. At the end of the day, I'll take it. First game as a starter. Definitely showed some glimpses of why the Patriots are so high on him, why I'm high on him, and why the Patriots select him with the 3rd overall pick, and why the Giants offer so much compensation to get Drake May, and the Patriots ultimately declined. Hopefully, and people are like, oh, you Patriots gonna get a number 1 receiver. Do you see how bad this offensive line is? Like Will Campbell, Kevin Banks, please save us. Like we need a wide receiver 1, but for now, Demario Douglas can suffice. Hopefully, Jalen Poole can wake up in the next coming weeks and get that chemistry. Hopefully Javon Baker can get back to the rotation in case somebody can stay in. And Tyquan Thorne, Sayonara, KJ Osborne, who's apparently active today. I don't think he got a single target today. So before I actually do want to break down and look at the targets just to make sure everything is good. So the Patriots have lost 5 consecutive games. Let's see. The leading targets today was Mario Douglas, but now it makes sense because he kind of is like Josh Downs at UNC for Drake May, who we loved at UNC. Kayshon Boutte had 3 targets, 3 catches. Hunter Henry, 5 targets, 3 catches. Gibson, 4 targets, 3 catches. DeMichael Hasty, 2 targets, 1 catch. Bourne, 2 targets, 2 catches. Hooper, 2 targets, 1 catch. Jalen Pope, 4 targets, 1 catch. Got to be better, Pope. Got to be better. Hooper fumbled, Drake fumbled, and Marcus Jones fumbled? How did Marcus Jones fumble? I forgot on Marcus Jones fumbled. And then J.J. Stroud fumbled for them and didn't do a pick, so yeah. Astros 41-21 going against the Jaguars in London. Actually really excited for that game in London. Can't wait to watch Drake May once again. Hopefully Monty Stevenson healthy because the run game was pitiful. They literally just had to make Drake throw the ball today because the run game was non-existent. So hopefully we can establish a run next game with Monty Stevenson. Hopefully there. And hopefully Drake May can get some of those turnovers out of his system. Because 3 turnovers in your first career game, not ideal. 3 touchdowns, ideal. 3 turnovers, not ideal whatsoever. But other than that, yo, that is pretty much it. Go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up. Make sure to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and to the boy John. Hopefully, guys, enjoy the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.